Welcome to part 2 of My Child Won't Sleep Through the Night. Cut me off. So, when you soul align, then you move into the space where they wake up in the night, and it's not an issue. It's not good or bad if they wake up in the night. So there's no need for things like leaving them to cry. There's no need for things like controlled crying or any of that kind of stuff. You just don't need to do it because you intuitively know that they're communicating with you, and that's it. All they need, the nourishment, they need the cuddles, they need whatever it is they need in that moment. You're free and able to give it to them because you know that it's not going to make them you're not being manipulated. You know that it's not going to turn into some kind of bad habit or whatever the thought is that's coming in. It's all just ego mind thoughts. Consciousness is a different shift in your perception of how you experience the world. And your child, your children in general are, well, we all are pure consciousness. That's what we are. But they embody that, and we often don't, because we've been brought up to believe that we are our mind, and we're not our mind, we're the soul. So, as I was saying in the previous video, the quickest way to access this point is to just take a deep breath in, sigh it out. I have to do this a few times. And on the out breath, just before the in breath, you feel the little dip. And it's just right there. The presence, your stillness, your internal being. Because children are just present all the time. They're not thinking about the past or future. The mind can only think about the past or future. The being, they're just being. And when you enter that state of presence and that state of being, that's it. That's it. There's no more thinking you need to do X, Y, and Z for them to be able to sleep through the night, because you know if they don't sleep through the night, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean it's bad or good. It just is. There's no thinking you have to do this, that, or whatever because they're going to turn out as this kind of person if you don't do X, Y, Z. There's none of that, because it's all of the mind. It's mental form constructs. The soul is just pure being. It just is. It's in the moment. It's presence, and that's it. That's literally it. And that we've made it just so complicated by going along with whatever it is that someone that we don't even know years and hundreds of years ago has made up, saying that this is what children need to be like, and this is what we need to mould and change them into, and this is how you do it. We've all just gone along with it. That's why you will find it challenging when your intuition is in there going, this doesn't feel good, this doesn't feel right. That's why when you're outside their bedroom door and they're screaming and crying for you, and you're thinking, I can't go in because it'll mean this, and you need to sleep through you, blah, blah, blah. That's why your heart feels like it's in pain. It's your intuition, your soul saying, connect. You are pure love. Meet them and reach them on that level. And everything else is just external. It's just everything else. And then comes in as well the judgment, because that's all the mind stuff of, well, if I'm not doing what they're doing, then I'm doing it a different way. That must mean that I'm not doing it right. And that's not it either. And a lot of people say, oh, well, if you say, that, for example, cry it out physically changes the brain neurons in the baby's brain into them continuously being on hyper alert and not feeling safe, and they just realise, actually, if I cry, you're not coming, so what's the fucking point? People feel like you're judging them. It's not judgment, it's a fact. It's a scientific fact. It's not judgment. If people will be like, oh, well, I did. And that's because you feel inside like, well, I did that, that must mean I'm bad. No, it doesn't mean you're bad. It's just this is simply a remembering of who you are. You are the soul inside. You're not the mind. You are not all of that conditioning. You're not all of those beliefs that people have made up for you and placed onto you when you were a child. It's just, that's not who you are. And that's it. That's all this is. And that's why when you enter into that soul aligned space, that it just, like, you no longer even think about if they're going to wake up or not. It's just not a thing. They wake up, they don't wake up, they don't wake up. And then it gets to the point where they are sleeping through the night and you've not even noticed it's happened, because it just is. You're just in the moment, you're just being. Everyone believes that if we do this, then we can feel like this, and then we will be this, and then we'll be happy, and then we'll blah, blah, blah. And then you get whatever it is, the external of you that you want or whatever, and then it's on to the next thing, and the next thing. It's just you're never satisfied. It's a constant external validation search for what is always present in here, and that's it, and that's who you are. Pure consciousness, pure unconditional love. That's unconditional love. And that's what everyone says, oh, I love my child unconditionally, but actually the majority of people, when they say that, don't even know what that means. It's not, unconditional love is not conditions. We're saying we love our children unconditionally, and yet we're placing 1,000,001 conditions on them and on ourselves to be a certain way. And that's not unconditional love. Unconditional love is fully accepting the present moment of what is, and that's it. That is literally it. So, that is how, if your baby won't sleep through the night, that is it. That is all you need to do. And I'm not... yes, I can give you practical things to do, i.e. stop counting how many times they're waking up and get that belief out of your system. But that's not what... I don't really go into too much of what to do practically. Yes, there are practical things you can do to allow you to feel like you can cope more, allow you to have more time, allow you to feel calmer, allow you to have more patience, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I can do all of that stuff, but the main thing that I'm always going to be guiding you back into is your own internal knowing, because I'm not here to make anyone dependent on a certain system, because all I'm guiding you into is your own remembering of your inner self, and that's all you need to know. That's it. That's all you need. Because once you've got that, you know what to do. And then you're your own master of your own life. And your life situation is not your life. Your child's not sleeping through the night. That's a life situation. It's not your life. I'm talking about your life, your internal life. The being, the consciousness, the soul. Children only operate from the level of soul. They do not operate from the level of the mind. So you have to also come into that space to meet them where they are, and then you can understand what they need on such a deeper level and do it rather than feeling guilty or bad about it. And if that means bringing them into your bed safely, okay. If that means not doing that and staying with them in their room until they're settled, okay. There's no either or. But if you're feeling like, oh, I have to do it this way and I have to do it that way, and if I go into them if they're crying, if I pick them up, if I give them cuddles when they're crying, then that's just entering into bad habits and blah blah blah, and then they're manipulating me and they're getting their own way, and I don't want to breed that kind of thing, blah blah. That's all mind stuff. That's all mind stuff. Just notice it's going on, that's it. Carry on to the soul and what you're doing and what they need and what you need. That's it. That's it. And the more you follow what they need, and it's not like they're above you and you're being their servant and giving them everything either, because if you're in that space of, oh, they're manipulating me, then you feel like you're below them. And if you're in that space of, I've got to control this, then you feel like you're above them. It's neither of those things. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not either or. It's not like if you go to them, give them a cuddle, then you are giving in. So many parents say that to me, oh, but I feel like I'm just giving in. No. And it's different in each situation as well. So this is what I'm saying about sleeping. It's in the moment you know what to do because you are soul to soul with them. You're not coming from the level of the mind. That's what I'm trying to see here. Distinguish who you are. You are a three-part triune being. You've got body, mind, soul, spirit. You are the soul. You have a body and you have a mind. You are the soul inside. And children know this. They embody it. They are it. They live and breathe it. And that's where we then need to enter into that space too, because when we enter into that space, then that's when it works. That's when it flows. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to also put this video into my spiritual school app. If you are not a member, then go onto Mighty Network, search up spiritual school, and you will also find this video in there. And I'm going to be putting a lot more content into there in the near future too. So speak to you soon. Bye.